episode of season 2. I'm Erica.
And I'm Joyce.
Hello, Joyce.
Hello, Erica. Long time no time.
Do you think we're actually realizing our goals, our first goal of 2024, which is to make more podcast episodes, given that we're making the second episode of the year?
It's the effort that counts, and we're here, we're showing up. That's all that matters.
Yeah, sure.
This took a village, let's just be real.
That is also true. It's the beginning of the year, we're all very, very busy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm sure you guys are as well. So thanks for tuning in.
Thank you. Happy New Year. And yeah, this is our first episode of the year. Very excited. Feels like a little bit, I'm quite familiar and more comfortable than last year, I would say. Feel more at peace with everything. And with
Did you remember how you were feeling last time this year? No, sorry, this time last year?
That was when we first started prepping.
Yeah. When we first started, when we first got out of COVID.
Oh yeah.
That was last year.
Oh yeah. I don't know, like last year seems quite blurry to me, but I feel like for our podcast this year, there's definitely more exciting things gonna happen in terms of guests that we're gonna have.
Yes.
I also feel like our topics are gonna be a little bit more curated, more centralized, and I think we're starting to have more people tuning in from all over the world, which is very nice, and we're making friends and I would say continuing friendships as well.
Yeah, I would say
from last year.
Yeah, it's quite interesting because we started this. Well, technically we started in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
So when we're 26, turning 27. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah, that was
exposing our age.
Yeah, that.
Nothing to hide.
Not too old, so I don't mind sharing. So from 26 to turning 29 this year and 30 next year, you kind of see I feel like I also kind of see how the way I talk, the topics that we talk about, it's kind of changing.
Has definitely evolved.
Exactly. For better or worse, maybe you guys find us way more lame than before. Jokes are not fun. They're just more mom jokes more than ever. But hey, if you've been here the whole time, then maybe that's how you're changing as well.
Good for us, I would say. Good for everybody.
Yeah.
And I think just very excited, and definitely would give ourselves more props and more confidence this year, to strive to do better and make better contents that we're both very excited and satisfied with, for sure.
Yeah, that's true. So give me a very general rating of your week.
Well, we just started the week.
How about last week?
Okay, last week was a good week. To sum it up, we had an amazing theme party.
Oh yeah, we did.
Which a lot of our friends saw on Instagram. We had a theme to dress as your spouse, who dresses another gender. A theme party, a costume party, you would say. So kind of ended on a high note, I would say. Haven't hosted a party for so long, and I would rate it like an 8.5 out of 10.
That's nice. Okay.
How about you?
Last week, how did I feel last
What
week?
did we do last week? Besides theme party, what did you do? Besides work?
I took, it was work and workout for me. Oh yeah, I really didn't do much last week because the week before I had a big week actually. I had a very big day towards the weekend, and so last week literally I was going I would need to isolate myself from people. Recently I heard a friend saying that, which I really agree, which is I'm actually a more extroverted person than introverted, and that makes me I get my energy from people, but I also drain my energy if I'm not with the right company, or if I'm with too much company. And that's why after that very much socialized weekend,
Mm-hmm.
I need a lot of alone time. I almost like don't want to talk to anyone.
To regain your energy, right?
Yeah, seriously. And
So,
then, yeah.
Mm-hmm. How would you rate your, I guess, rejuvenated week? Or like a charging your battery kind of week? How would you rate it?
I would rate it a good like 7.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. But hopefully this week's gonna be better because I'm going on a trip again.
You're going on a trip again.
Yes.
I feel like we're all gonna go on more trips this year.
Yes,
like
hopefully
short
more,
and
please.
that's exciting.
I already committed myself to, well, you know, in my head, I want to go to at least 3 new places this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I want to go somewhere more like within Asia, just because like yeah, there's a lot to see in Asia these days.
That's funny. I feel like I a little bit different from you, like how I feel like I want to travel this year, just because last year I wasn't able to travel too much. I felt a bit restrained within Asia, so I guess this year I want to make not like I want to make more trips per se, but more I guess impactful trips in a sense where I want to go to places where I truly have never been and I'm curious about, like Spain, more explore about Europe. So that is something that I really want to plan to probably do around the summer, closer to the summer. I also do.
You should go to more music festivals since it's such a thing. You know, it's your thing.
Is it my thing? Really? You think so?
Yeah, I think music festivals in Spain that would be really fun.
Oh, Belgium.
Go before you're too old. You know.
Go before I'm 45. So.
Okay, 45. Well, then you still have a couple years to go.
The night is young.
Yeah, you can go with your kid in the future.
Yeah, I don't mind as long as he or she is down to go with me. Hopefully,
does she even have a choice?
I strive to be a fun mom, not the boring kind of mom. That's my goal.
Like keep it up.
Yeah. So with that said, yeah, just like traveling more consciously with like the places that I want to go. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But for now, I'm quite enjoying my routine, I would say, in Hong Kong too.
What is your routine even like?
You don't know my routine. I have a secret routine. I've been playing. So whenever I work from home, I've been playing badminton and ping pong. So I do rotations. Yes.
Oh wow! Where do you play ping pong?
Also in clubhouse. Yeah. So I play with my parents. I play with uncle and auntie. My ex-neighbor's parents. And
so wholesome.
It's just like I feel like there's days where it's like very wholesome and very cozy, and I quite like that because my weekends or my Friday nights might be a little bit different. So I feel like I get a little bit of both. And yeah, it's quite comforting. You know?
That's cool.
Yeah. So I kind of am able to find that balance now. Because when I travel to work, when I go to the Hong Kong island, it's kind of like, for me, I feel like I'm like kind of making a trip out there. So when I'm there, I try to like align my dinners or like seeing my friends, my boyfriend, like doing those times when I go to the Hong Kong island. So I try to balance.
Otherwise, you stay in your hood and do all the wholesome stuff.
Yeah. So that's that. But with that said, we should dive into today's topic. Why don't you share a little bit of I guess why you brought up this topic, why you wanna kind of talk about this to begin with the year, and I just really like this topic when you brought it up to me.
Thank you. I think, well, first off, the topic really comes from you saying that you want to do something more like like New Year related, and well, New Year's resolution, we have talked about it.
Yes.
And like, I don't know what else to do with New Year's. Like, what do you do to ring in a New Year, or like, I don't know, Lunar New Year, like everything. We've already talked about it.
Yes.
And somehow I just kind of and also how people like to talk about like trends that they think are in and out in 2024. People have done it. I've heard listened to a lot of podcasts about it. And so I'm just thinking, okay, let's focus on the ins, but the ins as in not like something that might not have happened before, but more like the nostalgic stuff, like trends that you really like, and we're not being forecaster here, so let's just talk about the trends that we want to bring back in 2024. And so it could be trends that that used to be a big thing when we were teens, when we were kids, or just, you know, like last year, like mask. It is such a trend, right? If you want to bring back mask, well, then so be it.
Yeah, it's your own preference, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So this would be an interesting one because I feel like we both have a bit more I feel like the top things that we'll bring up, we'll share, it's kind of like, I guess a lot of people would think about that or resonate with as well. And then there's a bit of like some, I guess, elements that we'll share that is not as how should I say, mainstream, or it's really based on like our own personal preference. So
yes, yeah. I think so. And I can kind of see like where like the direction that I'm going for as I try to list out the stuff that I want to bring back in 2024. A lot of to do with like digital, the digital life that people are living these days.
For sure.
Yeah.
We, before our podcast, we always like to like share a little bit about like how we feel about the podcast. You asked if I was excited to dive into this topic, and then as we kind of start to talk about it one-on-one, I feel like there's way more insight than we can ever imagine about this topic. Like it can be so surface level. If only we have like 5 hours, I feel like we could definitely dive into each one. But yeah, let's start off with your digital, I guess, concept of
I mean, it's well, I try to categorize them, but it could be just all over the place, you know, like I'm just trying to group my thoughts into one thing. But basically the stuff that I want to bring back, first off, I would want to say dating apps. I wish that dating apps I wish we could go back to the days where dating apps do not exist. So I want to bring back the trend where there's no dating apps.
So people are more I guess genuine with the way they meet people, and they put more effort in meeting people organically, whereas being reliant on like dating apps nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, well, to be fair, to be completely honest, I have used it, and it gives me like, you know, it's like this very instant sense of gratification because okay, like I got a like, I got a super like, and then we talk, we click, and then we want to meet up, and everything just goes by so smooth. It could happen from like day 0 to day 1, and then but because of how instant this kind of feeling that people could get, aka there would be zero commitment. So on day 1 it could go like this, day 1 to 7 it could still maintain, maybe day 7 it goes right down, right downhill, and you can't even blame that person because it's kind of just like ghosting another person becomes such a norm. Even I do that sometimes. So yeah, I just wish I could when no one does that, so when dating app does not exist, and people would be a little bit more patient with what they're looking for, and would not just, you know, take everything for granted, like even this feeling that others might have for you.
Yeah, and I feel like it is the dating apps to blame a little. Remember I shared you last week, a little bit off topic, but I really do want to share this insight while it's still fresh in my mind, that Jay Shetty's podcast with one of the psychiatrists or therapists, a relationship therapist. She shared that you know, you don't pick your partners by a la carte. You don't get to pick, oh, I want this person to be all the qualities that I look for. But I feel like with dating apps, it kind of trained us to look for the wrong qualities, like right off the bat.
Yeah.
You see the person's, you know, profile pictures right off the bat. You know where they're from. You know their height. You know what they like, what they don't like. Immediately, you become a superficial kind of viewer, you know, without wanting to. It's just like a natural kind of cause.
Yeah.
So that kind of defeats. I feel like it defeats the whole purpose of, you know, looking for the right partner.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard a lot of success story with dating apps, but still,
there are successful stories, I feel like.
Yeah, there are a lot, but it's just, I don't know, like I just feel like life is like easier without it.
For sure, less complicated.
People put more effort into looking for the right person, basically.
speaking of putting more effort,
Yeah.
my next point was when you kind of shared this, I guess, concept and question for me. My first one was obviously about fashion, about the way people dress.
Mm-hmm. Not surprised.
And I feel like, yeah, like I just recently, like in Hong Kong, I feel like everybody's just kind of they dress in a very particular way. And if you look at, I guess, the top purchasing clothing brand in Hong Kong, I would probably think it's like Uniqlo is pretty up there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mass majority of like the Hong Kong population would purchase it because of their price point, affordability,
It's true.
wearability, or just like how easy, just how like simple everything
It's
looks.
value for money, basically.
But for me, it's just lack of style, you know. It's just like ugh. And what I want to kind of say is that I know everything happens for we talked about it. Everything happens for a reason. There's a societal norm towards the way people dress. There's a reason why people dress the way they are today, because comfort is always number one. But yeah, I feel like back in the day, you know, when my mom or my grandma, they would, you know, go to parties or go to dinners, or meet with their girlfriends, I feel like fashion would be just such a priority for them in their lives. And that make me wonder that, you know, I wouldn't mind like living in that period of time where, you know, everybody has their own characteristic of the way they dress, have a really strong sense of style. But now everything just kind of like meshes, because we also talked about how many options people have.
Yeah.
Everything is just less curated.
Yeah.
And less fine-tuned.
Yeah, and like people, well, I don't know, like, cause back in the days, it's like, well, because you don't really read a lot of magazines or watch a lot of, like, I don't know, fashion shows or whatnot, or even like the IG reels, outfit inspo. So all those like inspo kind of come from maybe this one or two celebrity that's like really big at the time, and also from their own instinct. And so people would be more original, more creative, and there would be more diversity, basically. Now it's just people are, well, they need to fit in, they need to dress a certain way. There's like, I don't know, like didn't we talk about like there's like this like latte girl, or
it was like a latte girl vibes where from head to toe
ridiculous names coming out.
Everything is named after like food or drink beverages.
Matcha girl, latte girl, I don't know. Is there like a pole girl? Oh, whatever that is.
Oolong tea.
Oh yeah, I dress like this is Americano.
Our next Halloween costume, let's do it.
I am ready. Are you not? What are you?
I don't know.
What are you trying to be today?
I honestly don't know. What does this blue make you think of?
Well, every color makes me think of a different thing, you know? Like this is like matcha. This is like the trend. This is like mustard. And blue is like easy to get dirty.
Cotton candy, no?
Yes, candy.
So as you can tell, my clothing says a lot about myself and my personality.
Yeah, at least there's diversity.
At least there's diversity. But yeah, with that said, I don't know where our point is. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, I think what you're trying to really say is just, you know, you really enjoy seeing people think out of the box, try to get creative, and because, you know, the way you dress speaks a lot about yourself, and it's the first thing that people see, which is, well, if you're interested, there's an episode about that. You know, so like, it means that you would bring creativity into your life, into your daily life.
Yes.
Yeah.
One more thing to add on that while you were talking about that is, I actually do miss like the process of curating your own sense of style and fashion. What I mean by that is, I used to went to like my childhood friend's house, and her sisters are much older than us, say like 4 or 5 years older than us. I went to their room, and I know already that I really like their fashion sense of style and fashion, but what I saw on like their wall and their wallpaper in like their bedroom were like all fashion magazines like mood boards of like
Oh,
cut
yeah.
out photos
Yeah.
of like their favorite fabric or like their favorite model walking on the runway. I don't know, like just that process of building your own kind of style is so genuine, and just like cutting it, you know, the whole
Yeah.
process is just, it just makes it more raw and more creative
Yeah.
and genuine. Whereas now it's just kind of like,
It's very digitalized.
it's so digitalized. It's so like,
I bookmark it. I saved it on like
that's it.
Instagram or TikTok. Can you
I'm just
save
browsing.
something on TikTok?
I don't know. Probably no.
Yeah, but if you could do that, then that would be people's mood board, digital mood board. But
cool.
it's
just different.
Yeah, it's
you
very
know?
different.
I wouldn't say which one is bad or good, but it's just a different society that we're living now.
Exactly.
Who
We
would
just
do
live
that?
in a very different age.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the next thing that I think I would really want to bring back, it's, well, the fact that you were okay to I think this is like very much like people talk about it all the time, and it's still very much the one thing that I want to bring back is being okay to stay away from your phone for a period of time. What I mean is that, for example, like at work right now, at least for me, I have to be very close to my phone. I have to always be answerable to my phone, and after work, yes, maybe you could kind of expect, your work-related clients, coworkers, whatever, not to look for you. But people know that everyone checks their phone every other minute or so. So they kind of expect you, like, if they treat this thing as like urgent, then they expect you to kind of at least give them a response. Whereas back in the days, right, or not even back in the days, I mean, even like, I don't know, like 6-7 years ago, even I think before COVID, it's a bit easier for people to justify that. But like since COVID, because everyone works from home, and then you also give employers the thought that, oh, okay, so it's okay for people to work from home, and it's also easy to find them because they will always be reachable online. And so, that becomes the norm. You just have to 24/7 stick to your phone.
It's just the way, I guess, the work culture is now. And it's kind of really unavoidable,
Yeah, there's like no boundaries, basically.
Yeah, the boundaries. Well, yeah, and I also, it's just a very different world that we live in comparatively to when we were teenagers. Remember, I kind of shared with you about my living abroad kind of life for a short period of time. That was when it was kind of like a no phone era for me, but for some reason I wasn't complaining because that was the phone was not really accessible for me at that time. So I just kind of, it's just really, everything is just a perspective and mindset thing where I'm like, okay, like if I don't even know this thing exists, then I just need to learn how to adapt, communicate with my friends. How do I make friends without my iPhone? It's like, how do I make meaningful conversations? How do I communicate in a way where my friends will meet me at this certain spot without sending my location?
Exactly.
Like how?
Yeah, how do people do that? Because
they just somehow find their way, you know?
If we were able to do it, if people our age at that time were able to meet up with their friends without getting lost because there's no Google Map or live location sharing, then why aren't they able, or people our age right now aren't able to do that anymore?
Yeah, it's just a different world that we live in,
It's true. It's very weird, actually.
And then we also talked about our parents just now, like the way they view like digital appliances now, or like their phones now, and the way we kind of value digital detox over them. That was also a conversation that I was like,
it's again very weird. They literally, they have to be talking to, they're browsing their phones, talking to their friends, blah blah blah, 24/7. And I wouldn't do that. I mean, they back in the time wouldn't do that. Why are they doing it now?
Yeah. And then we kind of analyze it a little bit. It's like, oh, maybe because they went from 0 to 100, like from no phone to phone with everything. We went from we're gonna dive in a bit later. We went from iPod where you're like, oh, now you can listen to this little device, you know, and then now you have
sorry, it starts with MP3.
Oh yeah, MP3, and then it's iPod, and then what else?
And then there's iPhone.
Okay,
and everything just like integrated.
Yeah.
You just iPhone everything.
And then before WhatsApp, it was MSN.
Yeah.
Like before like chatting with your friends.
It started with ICQ. Have you ever used it?
I never used ICQ.
I never actually. There's MSN.
Yeah.
And then there is WhatsApp and Facebook Message.
Yeah.
And then there
is all these video
IGDM. And then there is also there's Snapchat.
Oh yeah, Snapchat was kind of in the realms of like WhatsApp.
Yeah, and now it's just
whatever.
Every social media platform you can talk to people.
But what we're trying to say is that our generation kind of had like a gradual, like exponential growth with like the access of like digital appliances, and it was for us now it's like it feels a little bit too much because we experienced so little and we were kind of okay with it, we were happy with it, but now it's kind of like overusing it, over reliant on it. So now that's why we kind of crave for that digital detox. And
do you think there's one more reason though? Like because people our age are mostly, you know, in the workforce, so we all experience this like kind of, you know, like exhaustiveness because we have to be using our phones or a lot of digital devices a lot at work. But then for our parents, though, a lot of them maybe like, I don't know, like retire. So for them, phone is more for like chilling, socializing, or just so that they don't mind using it.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. For us, it's like this little device, well, not that little, but then this device means work or like networking or like, you know, like proper socializing or anything practical, basically.
Yeah, we have a bit of I guess
responsibility too.
Yes, responsibility, and also I was gonna say like our generation probably added a bit more negative tonation towards it, whereas our parents' generation is kind of on like the fun and pleasure kind of ends of it, kind of really the opposite direction that we when we hold our phones. It's a different kind of sense that they get. So yeah, I feel like that's really the main difference between us and our parents.
Well, I'm not complaining though, because you know, not a lot of people get to live with whatever they grew up having.
For sure. And then I guess back to what we were saying, that I really want to bring back iPods.
Oh yeah.
iPod era. Like you can I would.
Isn't that a color? Like there's the green color that I think it's really, really cool.
Really?
Yeah, I forgot it's an iPod Nano or I think it's iPod Nano.
Okay.
It used to be the cool color. It's like this like lime green.
The Nano one is the one that you don't see the screen.
Oh no, sorry, not the Nano. What is this thing called? The one that like the slim one, the slim and the very. It's called iPod. Oh yeah, iPod.
The one with the rectangular screen.
Yes.
That's the one.
Really nice.
The reason why I want to bring that back, it's the way I can connect with music back then is different from how I connect or how I view music now. Example, I feel like at that time I was really able to connect with music just like on another level. Like I felt like the song was like written for me. I really truly understand the lyrics. I dive deep more about the lyrics.
What kind of songs do you listen to?
Like Taylor Swift, Boys Like Girls.
It's also because of your age though.
Well, that's
you're fantasizing
emo
about
phase.
Relationships.
At that emo phase. But no, I mean also it's like because that was the only thing that was accessible. Like there's no other distractions.
Yeah, that's
you know?
true. That's true.
So I was saying in that connection, in that sense,
there's
like,
no freaking ad.
Yeah,
I don't have to pay to get Spotify Premium.
Exactly. But like even if I have Spotify Premium now, it's like I treat music more of like an accessory than like a priority. Like before I would like,
because you have a lot of distraction.
Exactly. Like before I would like go out of my way to like listen to music, or I would always prioritize wherever I want to go. I want to listen to I want to bring my iPod. But now it's kind of like it's like whatever, like I can listen to this, I can listen to that. Like I feel like I'm like treasuring music less now.
Yeah. It's true.
There's a difference. There's a different bond now.
Yeah, and with like those cables on, you feel
Yes,
like
it
you're
hits
really
different.
in your own world.
Yeah.
Versus now is like you know.
You can have one AirPod on, one AirPod off to listen to
exactly. Well, back then you can, but it would look. I always don't understand how people with those cables on, with one.
Oh yeah.
One of them on and one of them off, because it looks so weird. It looks like it might fall anytime. It looks like a very heavy ear.
But do you do that? You don't do that ever? Like you would either have both on or both out?
No, I do, but I would try to like hang it around the neck.
So cool.
Thank you. And you know, like at one point, like, people like to hide it like inside.
No, really? I never done that.
Really? Or maybe is it a guy?
Maybe it's a guy thing. I don't know.
I did that. Well, I still think it's pretty cool, and it's like this doesn't really get in the way, because I'm really very clumsy. What if I like Wudai-san, and then this thing just
that
like
will totally fall off and dangle around your body.
Exactly.
And then you'll get trapped.
And
then you'll get trapped and then you'll fall.
Exactly. That's how I fall. Yeah, but I know exactly how that feel.
Yeah, those were the days.
Those were the
good days.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you would want to bring back, tangible or non-tangible?
I just want to say, yes, this is like both. It's more like an intangible concept, I would say. Like, I feel like people wouldn't mind just always going back to the same place with their friends all the time. Back in time. I mean, this is like, being, it's more generic, because I know that there's still a couple of people out there that still do that. They just always go back to the same spot. But I just feel like it's not as common these days, because of the, like, we're never out of options. Because if you want to check out, like, especially in Hong Kong, you want to check out this bar, then you go here on day 1 and day 2. You can literally, I feel like in Hong Kong especially, you can go to a new bar every single day for 1 month, and you would never get bored, because there's always something new around the neighborhood. And because of that, then people would not be able, or will be less likely to commit to the spot. Yeah, like
true.
Like we talked about it just now. If friends were to be, filmed now in this current modern day society, I don't think it's too realistic, to be honest. Because can you picture the same group of friends going back to same exact spot and eating and drinking
for a decade?
Exactly, eating the same food, drinking the same exact cup of coffee every day at the same time? No,
that's impossible.
That many same things would not happen now. It would, but very, very, very unlikely. Yeah.
It's a shame. I feel like it's also like, well, where we're living now, it's such a fast-paced city. It makes it harder to find a go-to, because I feel like all businesses are just trying to survive. With and it's just getting harder to survive, because people's appetite is just and their span of like attention and liking of something is so short. That companies and brands and businesses and restaurants, everyone is finding it hard to maintain in one spot and just do one thing really good. Like, I feel like that's really hard nowadays.
We also talked about it before. There's so many like weird concepts. Like, for example, like coffee shop and laundry, barber shop and bar. I don't know what else. What else is weird to me? I can't think of it. Like, even I feel like a pet shop and cafe, or like grocery
it's like
store.
multitasking a thing.
Yeah, everything can be mixed up together.
Yeah, which is like
so hard to satisfy people.
It's hard to be satisfied nowadays. That's what we're saying. Like, both of us kind of wish that we have less options.
Yeah.
I wish bringing back to the first point you said, like, I wish people had less options with meeting people.
Look at your shirt. There are so many options.
I wish. Yes.
You wish.
Expressive. No, but I'm saying, like, just like in like, the choice of life and circumstances, like meeting people don't you wish that everyone's just more focused on one thing, which is meeting people genuinely in like a more human interactive situation.
Yeah, I mean, I keep wanting to be minimal, but achieving this,
so hard.
It's so fucking hard, honestly.
It's like you're going against everything and everyone.
Yeah, because it's so easy. Like, your options just like, it's easily accessible. If you want something, I go down the street, I get something, and then if I don't like it, I go down there and I get something new.
Yeah,
it's hard.
Everything, and it's just like, it makes you wonder that like the decisions that you make, is it like is it truly what you want, or you're just like being convinced by like outside noises? Like, that's what I'm always trying to struggle too, you know? It's like okay, let's, for example, I don't know if this is a good example, but like skincare routine. I feel like oh, we're being engraved by social media that like, oh, we need to have like a good like skincare routine, a good nighttime and daytime routine, and like, make you buy all these type of products, like serum, exfoliation, blah, 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 blah. But like back in the day, I doubt they have like a 10-step routine.
The best routine is to go to bed early and drink more water.
The best routine are like your lifestyle choices,
Yeah.
And they have probably better skin than we do now, so
exactly.
It's just kind of like interesting to think about.
It's hard though. It's hard to be like, we say all of this, but it's hard to go back because you have already hit here.
Yeah.
And then if you want to go back down, then it's kind of like you have to be living in a cave, basically.
Exactly. And it's kind of like it doesn't really make any sense, because that means you're just trying to be an outlaw of the...
Exactly. It can only happen if I'm not working anymore and I can just basically retire.
Live a nomad life, then that's the way to go. But
exactly,
we're kind of in this
not
phase.
Happening soon.
Yeah, and we're in this phase in our life where we're just trying to adapt, but also trying to be true to ourselves at the same time.
It's true. Yeah, so I guess, one last thing that I really want to bring up is, Instagram have to stop eavesdropping on all my conversations with my friends. Really don't like that. Like we used to be able to, explore, I focus on Instagram because that is basically the only social media app that I would still use. I don't use Facebook, I'm not on TikTok. So I just feel like back in time, first off, I use it as like a, blogging platform, and then I also really explore and discover a lot of new things. And then since I forgot when, but it starts to eavesdrop on all my conversations and just gives me all the suggested posts based on what I talk about or what I was even thinking about sometimes. And it's just like they're trying to manipulate, gaslighting me. Yeah.
They're trying to make a profit by gaslighting you.
Exactly. Everything is about selling, it's about advertising, it's about the ads. Like, every YouTuber, even when because every YouTubers make advertise all the time, even when they're not advertising, when they're like, this is not sponsored content. I'm sorry, I still feel like it's sponsored content. The way you say things makes me feel like it might be a scam.
You're selling me something.
Exactly. You're still getting paid for that. But just maybe in a different form. That's why you said it's not ad related. Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. Like I told you, I like the YouTuber that I was listening to, that when she's now 23, she started YouTube when she was 13, 10 years ago. And when she was...
Wait, who?
It's called Eva Jules.
Oh, okay.
She's a Hawaiian YouTuber.
Okay.
So, but like the gist of her podcast or her episode was basically saying how when she started off when she was 13, she was just trying to like do and talk about the things that she likes. Like, for say, like she was like really admiring like the makeup artists like that were trying to make it on YouTube, and she kind of wanted to like see if she can make it herself too. So she tried to her YouTube like usernames were like makeup by blah blah blah. Like it was very like centralized topics. And her purpose was just really just trying to share the things that she loved, and she made a YouTube username or YouTube platform just about like her love for Justin Bieber.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like basically a fan based YouTube where people share like what merch they buy after Justin Bieber's concert in blah 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 and blah blah blah. Like,
I hope she was invited up to the stage for One Less Lonely Girl.
I don't think so. I think she didn't make the cut.
Do you know, like, Justin Bieber is only turning 30 this year?
I cannot believe that.
Yeah, I feel like he's been around
I thought he was like way older than us, like at least 5 years.
Exactly. How is he only 94?
I don't know. I can't imagine. Like, he's actually like the same generation as we are.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like, I guess to sum up, it was just mainly like, I felt like back in the days, everything was just much more pure. Digital social media was just much more pure, more about storytelling, more about the person. But now everyone's just trying to sell the story. They're still doing storytelling, I feel like, but in a way that it's like more profitable.
Yeah, and people who are trying so hard to like be pure, be minimal, just don't feel like it's the same. Like, even when they're trying to bring back these feelings in, you know, the 2024, feels like they're like, well, they're trying so hard to do it that it doesn't feel authentic anymore.
Yeah, it's hard to be authentic.
Yeah,
not just by saying that you're authentic doesn't make you authentic.
Exactly.
But hopefully our podcast is not really in that, how should I say, like, we're not like other people. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I think what we need to also work on is that, you know, what is the main purpose for us in this podcast, right? Like, are we trying to sell people an idea? Are we trying to sell people something? Like, is that really truly our motive? Because I feel like no. I feel like that's not really why we started. I felt like the reason why I started was really more about me trying to learn a new skill set and me trying to grow and me trying to venture out in a different way where I've never did before. So it's not really about like making a profit. It's just really me documenting this.
Yeah,
if that makes any sense.
I don't even know why I started, to be honest. Like, definitely I don't think I started because I want to make a profit out of it. I mean, of course it would be very, very nice, but like, well, I can't even start to think about it because
it's just a different level of work.
It's a different, exactly. But I really enjoy doing it, and I think that's a good enough reason for me to start doing anything.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah, that's always the reason why I started doing anything, and then if anything else that happens on top of it, then yes, I'd be very, very grateful for it. But otherwise, always be learning something, getting something out of it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of something in my one single sentence.
There's a lot of something.
A lot of something.
We always repeat one word in like a sentence.
Yeah, but lack of vocabulary.
I want to touch on the last thing that I really want to touch on.
Of course, please.
I actually don't know how to like sum this up, but I'm just gonna blur it out. It's just like we talked about this in Cantonese, 茶模. Maybe a bit similar to
a more modern term.
Let's just say it's like a similarity of ballroom dancing, but in a group setting, in like a probably dining cafe setting.
Yeah. How is it different from your dance classes though?
The intention is different.
Explain, please.
For me now, the reason why I go dancing is not really trying to bond with anyone. It's just really to try to fine tune my skill set in dance. It's more the technicality of dance. But I feel like what I'm missing is the community that I guess ballroom dancing back in the days, or like going, you know, like where my grandparents used to be when they were in their early teens, early 20s, it's kind of like a common activity, like how nowadays we go to like a bar or cafe to you know, just have like a conversation. It's like kind of like that activity, that route. But my like how I guess people view dance now is like it's like an art, or it's like a sport, you know, but it's not really like a social gathering situation, which I wouldn't mind traveling back in time and kind of experience that phase where you know, I can just hit my friends up, hit my boyfriend up, and just be like, oh hey, like let's just go to our regular dancing place and just have a blast.
Maybe you can bring,
You know?
you can be the one to like bring back this trend, you know, like
That'd be cool.
yeah, start like gathering your group of friends and go to. It's not that hard, right? Like gather your group of friends, go to like a pub, and then it depends on the type of music, and you guys start like dancing to it, and yeah, and
That'd
they
be
just
cool.
make this like a more regular thing. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Actually.
That would be like I have to like actively kind of make it happen,
Yeah.
which would take some more effort. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll
Why
see.
not? If you really enjoy it.
Yeah. So I guess that pretty much wraps up today our episode.
Yes, I'd say so. When are we recording again, Joyce?
Whenever you're back, girl.
Oh yes, that's true. I mean, I probably would look 2 layers
Tanner.
tanner, yes, for our next episode.
Great. And we'll, I guess, I was gonna say something. It'll be a really, really busy February. I feel like for us, just like Chinese New Year coming up, and like we might have trips.
Yes, that's true. And February is shorter in general, so it'll be
So
busy
sad.
because there's like less time.
Yes, but we'll still try our best to keep it up and keep the momentum going.
Yes.
And yeah, thank you guys for listening to our episode. We hope you enjoy it.
Yeah.
We post episodes every other Wednesdays.
Just like we post episodes every now and then.
Make sure you guys follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube.
And we actually we distribute our podcast to a lot of other platforms now. Google Podcasts, I forgot the names of them, but you can easily find us on the mainstream ones, Spotify.
And follow us at Hyper Peaches.
Exactly.
And then we'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.